Oh, is your necklace from Italy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you so much. It's a Tuscan sunflower. I'm
And your
obsessed with it.
titties are under the Tuscan sun.
Ooh, well, under the Tuscan sunflowers.
Flower, which is kind of what they would do on Wheel of Fortune, like a before and after.
What?
Like on Wheel of Fortune when they go before and after. So it's like, like under the Tuscan sun flowers, or like
I don't think I've ever watched Wheel of Fortune.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even understand what you're referencing. But I did audition for Children's Jeopardy and did not get it.
Oh my God, that's my dream. Even now as a 35-year-old, I'm like, get me on Children's Jeopardy.
This is kind of a nebulous, what does nebulous mean?
Unformed.
This is sort of an unformed topic.
Yeah.
I've been watching some old JBU sketches and
stuff. Damn, okay.
And our voices were so clear.
Who everybody was.
Yeah, I was this uptight, neurotic person who was obsessed with marriage, and it was just so easy to write jokes for that voice, and you were so clearly defined. And
what was I defined as?
Like a very opinionated slut.
Yeah.
Does that work?
How have I changed?
Well, I'm not saying you have. I'm saying I have. Who's changed more?
Burn.
Me by maturing, or Gabe by transitioning?
Literally. I commented on that TikTok you sent me that was oh no, Melissa sent it. That was the best types of friendships are one person who's seems like an asshole but's low-key nice, and the one person who seems lovey-dovey but is low-key an asshole. Yeah. And I was like, this is us.
I don't think I'm an asshole.
You I think you present more cutesy than you are.
Cutesy or friendly?
Yeah, friendly.
I'm very friendly. I have opinions.
Meanwhile, I'm I act like I'm so tough, and then if one thing happens, I'm crying.
Well, I think it's more that you're nice than sensitive.
I'm a nice person.
Anyway, but yes, I was just thinking about it, and just working on these different longer form projects and books and things, and it's I don't know, I'm trying to almost rediscover what is my voice creatively anymore. Now that it's not such a locked in stereotype of a sketch character.
And also our stuff together, we still disagree, but now we're a little bit more similar, I think, which is kind of funny. But
yeah, but it's just it's this interesting thing to have been writing and creating for so long, and to now be 34 and be what is my voice?
Yeah. I think mine's changed too. I think I'm just a little bit more willing to do stuff that isn't so obviously politically charged. Does that make sense? I'm subtle now. I know it doesn't seem like it. What do you think is different for you?
I think that what kind of messed me up is doing all of this very earnest, sincere nonfiction writing. Because I write weekly on my Substack. Check it out, Emotional Support Lady. And I've written now 2 nonfiction books, and
Overthinking About You at bookstores near you.
Please. And so I think that I used to only write comedically. I would only write things I would write in scripts, and I would write Twitter jokes every day, and it was I was so it was such a comedic.
You hated sincerity.
I hated sincerity.
Hated it.
And now it's sort of I was realizing I haven't written a script since 2020.
Whoa.
I've just been I've pitched a script since then. So I've worked on pitch documents, outlines, and or on the show, show documents for a TV show and stuff. But I haven't written a full script in years. And so that's kind of wild that now I write nonfiction and prose and fiction. And so I've only been trained as a screenwriter. I'm not trained as an author.
Yeah.
And so it's this interesting thing of who am I? Switching between the nonfiction voice and the fiction voice, and realizing that I think a lot of my nonfiction voice doesn't feel totally like me. It feels
because you have to present yourself in a certain way to make your points.
Yeah, it doesn't. I haven't quite figured out how to write nonfiction. Maybe other than in Overthinking About You, that has the complexities of my personality.
Well, because it's more vulnerable, because you're I'm myself.
Or it's more academic. It's more just do you know what I mean? It's less, there's less jokes because I'm talking about serious things, or
But I will say, I was thinking about how there's a lot of stuff with like pop psychology writing where they try to make stuff too jokey, and it's like,
Yeah.
don't do that. Don't try so hard. Just give me the info.
Right, and that's the thing is it's like, am I allowed to have different voices in different mediums?
Yes.
Sort of thing.
But I don't know because we're like building brands and whatever.
That's what's hard.
I know. I don't know. I went from comedy to drama. I went now like more kind of campy drama-ish type stuff. I'm going to be like working on another thing about a murderous middle-aged woman because apparently that's my whole bread and butter, I guess. And that's what they were joking about. They were like, "Oh, that's what you write about." Someone said that they're like the comic book studio was like, "Well, you write about like murderous middle-aged women." And I was like,
Do I? That's so not what I am thinking of as your brand.
I know, but it's happened multiple times. So I'm like trying to figure out like what does that even, what does that look like, and what do I consume versus what do I create? Like I love horror. I've never made a horror movie. Yeah. But I've written a horror movie, but it's like, well, is that what, you should be going towards? But then the movie I'm working on is like very sincere. Is my genre and brand like queerness? Is that a genre? No. So like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, is my brand is just like
mental illness.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And that can run the gamut. Look, we're entertainers. It's fine if sometimes, for me on our podcast, it's fine if I say stuff I don't 100% believe.
Okay, see, that makes no sense to me.
Because I'm being funny.
But you're like being you.
Yeah, but I'm also have an obligation to be funny to the audience.
Oh, so you mean when it's like obvious that it's a joke?
A little bit. Do I fully believe that if somebody doesn't want to claim you publicly as their partner, that you should take out a billboard or post all the photos of you, tag every one of your friends, and then go on vacation? No. But is that funny to double down on? Yes.
Well, because then I guess your voice is sort of that. It's like extreme or like, like it's like breaking boundaries.
Yeah.
But my voice has sort of become reasonable.
But also kooky, but like also kooky.
I'm trying to figure out like the balance of like my kookiness with my like reasonaboness.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say like it's very reasonable or like nicely thought out, like when you answer the international questions. But then out of some like random thing will be like the craziest thing I've ever heard. and I'm like, what? Where did that fit in with everything else?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like I feel like I'm in the middle of like a
silly renaissance.
or like a renaissance, or like when the caterpillar is like.
Oh, metamorphosis.
It was like I like became a butterfly, and then I had to become a caterpillar again, and now I'm like figuring out what kind of butterfly I'm going to be.
Yes. I feel like a contrarian phoenix risen from the ashes, where I was like, oh no, like people don't like me, and now I'm like, people don't like me, so I can just say whatever I want. And also people think that I'm joking sometimes when I'm not joking, which is maybe a superpower.
Oh, so like they should be mad at you, but they're like, oh, Gabe's just kidding.
Gabe's just Gabe. Gabe just gaving around. Like when we did the meet and greet and they were like, Allison, you're so like good and your advice is so good. And Gabe, sometimes you make really good points. And I was like, sometimes.
Because you think you're always making good points?
I think I'm 100% giving you the advice that you should take and do.
You literally 1 minute ago said that you give fake advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's entertainment. There's sort of like, like in wrestling, there's like the face and the heel.
Yes, you talk about this all the time.
Yeah, so you're the face, I'm the heel.
Okay.
But sometimes what keeps the face fun is that sometimes the face is the heel.
I guess that what I'm struggling with is I don't feel confident in my ability to write characters that are not exclusively based on people I know.
Really?
And that makes me feel like I don't have a voice, that I'm more just like... That I'm just like stealing.
No, you're... first of all writers are observers. You have to observe the human condition in order to make stuff. 2, everyone's just basing people on people they know. That's how you get well-rounded characters. I base things on people I know all the time.
Yeah. I feel like I'm having a hard time creating characters that are well-rounded, that aren't explicitly based on a person I know.
I don't know who does that.
I think a lot of people.
I mean, sort of, but like if you're talking about, let's say it's like, oh, I invented a character like Percy Jackson. I invented a character who's like a kid that was born from the gods of Mount Olympus. It's like, yeah, that's...
Is that what that book's about?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I
like,
have no idea.
I just didn't want to say Harry Potter because like it's played out. So Percy Jackson. But like if that right, you have that, but then like of course probably the person who wrote it is like, and he has this quirk that my dad has, and he like, you know, is talks like my mom, whatever. Like you pull stuff all the time.
Yeah. All right.
But you got to change him enough so that people in your life don't get mad at you.
Yeah, well, because my thing is like I have this, and this is a real blessing, but I have a 2-book deal, right? So it's like my first rom-com explicitly based on my family and my personal experience.
Of course.
My second one, what am I going to do there? I can't just repeat these same characters.
Am I in the book?
No.
What?
Sorry.
She doesn't.
I guess that'll be the book too.
She doesn't have like a friend.
She does, but it's not like it's a very reasonable friend.
Boring. You know what it is?
Yeah, maybe it is.
You should, because I was thinking about it. Okay, do you think you're the main character
in life?
Like, yeah.
I think in my life I'm the main character.
Okay, I think I'm like a fun side character in Drew's life.
Even when you're not with Drew?
Yeah, like I'm doing stuff that then like I could talk to Drew about, you know? And then it like, yeah, I feel like I'm like, you know, I'm too weird to be the main character. Like I'm the friend who they're like, wow, I wish the movie was about them, but it's not.
Write that movie.